everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another anime review. And today, I'm going to be continuing my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure review series, picking up where we left off with the second half of Part 5, Golden Wind. Because, of course, last week I discussed the first 20 episodes, and looking back, I can't tell you how many times I said, oh, can't talk about that, because we gotta cover it next week, because it's a lot of spoilers. Can't talk about the main villain, because he doesn't appear until episode 20. And I should mention this is the spoiler warning because I got a lot to say about the main villain, Diavolo. And he is pretty cool. I like his design and just his whole idea, how he's a split personality and all sorts of crazy shit that happens in the second half of Part 5. So, spoiler warning. So, yeah, looking back on this review, it probably wasn't my best because I'm like, oh, can't talk about that. Can't talk about Trish's stand because we don't see it until the second half. But all spoilers are on the table now. So anyway, a quick recap from the last review. Of course, we met the new protagonist, the honorary JoJo, Giorno Giovanno, the bastard child of Dio Brando, along with his ragtag group of mafiosos led by Bruno Bucciarati. And kind of had the Match of the Week feel, the stand of the week, where they were looking for Trish, you know, the boss's daughter, and then they got their next objective to deliver Trish to the boss. While at the same time, the boss sent his underlings to, you know, kill Bucciarati's group, right? So what the fuck, boss? But then they learned that the boss wants to kill his own daughter, and having traveled with her for some time, they said, we can't kill her, so we gotta protect her. And it ended with, well, not necessarily Diavolo, but his stand, King Crimson, revealing himself. And I love the voice actor for Diavolo and his stand, King Crimson, Kellen Goff, who just does that voice so well. The really deep voice! I'm King Crimson! It's like, it's so fucking badass. But I will say, and I mentioned this in my last review with Giorno, his stand is so similar to Josuke's, to Shining Diamond, and King Crimson is like the same thing as Dio is the world. So I guess Araki was getting lazy with the stands and their abilities, but it's all good, because it's very entertaining. And probably my favorite character of this entire part is Diavolo's good side to his split personality, and that is a character named Doppio, as in dopey, as in he's not too bright, but he is something else with his mannerisms and how he transforms into his villainous side. So, anyway, let's go over the voice actors again real quick. We have Philip Reich as Giorno Giovanno, Ray Chase as Bruno Bucciarati, Mick Lauer as Abacchio, Sean Chiplock as Guido Mista, Kyle McCarley as Narantia, Ezra. I'm getting confused with the name, how it's spelled. Ezra Weiss as Fugo, and Lizzie Freeman as Trish. Those are the main characters. And then, of course, I mentioned Diavolo, voiced by Kellen Goff. And then I say spoilers, but it's time to say it now. And we have Doug Erholtz returning as Jean-Pierre Polnareff. So I mentioned in my first half of the review from last week how it was a bait and switch seeing Jotaro and Koichi, and it's like, they're here for a few episodes and then they're gone. But we do get a returning member of the Stardust Crusaders, Jean-Pierre Polnareff. And goddamn, what a badass entrance and design he has, redesigned. He's in a wheelchair, missing an eye. He's still got his hairdo though, which it's so badass, man. But anyway, so what happens here? We pick off where we left off, where King Crimson seemingly kills Bruno Bucciarati, and like you see his soul leave his body, and later on they sort of go back to that, saying that despite Giorno healing him, like Bucciarati's essentially dead anyway, because later on he gets hit and he's not even bleeding, and there's a scene where they like switch bodies, and you know he's dead. So it's pretty crazy. There are quite a few character deaths here. They're continuing, you know, trying to run away now that they have Trish, and encounter more of the crazy bastards working under control of the boss. And then we run into Doppio, who is this. You see, this is Diavolo, right? You see Doppio. He's actually wearing a shirt and has his hair more kempt than how it's all messed here, and the way he transforms, he encounters Risotto Nero, who wields the stand Metallica. And as he's battling him, he hears a phone ring, which is him making the phone noise, and he like sticks his tongue out, his eye, he gets cross-eyed, and he's like, he makes like this phone jingle, and at first he picks up like an action figure, he answers it, later on he picks up like a fucking banana, later on an ice cream cone, like he sees these kids, right, and all of a sudden these kids are out playing on the beach, eating their ice cream, playing soccer or whatever, and he grabs the ice cream cone, and he does like his cell phone jingle, and you hear Diablo like, Doppio, you fool, kill them now, Doppio, what are you doing? It's like, oh, but I can't, boss, I can't do that. It's like, my God, the acting, the voice acting, and just the mannerisms of the characters was done so well. And anytime Doppio was on the screen, I'm like, my God, Doppio, what a character. And I just love his name, like, implying that he's stupid. Doppio, right? So, all sorts of crazy shit ensues. They, start fighting other stand users. Eventually, they encounter, I gotta get the guy's name right. Hold on, let me see if I can find him again. His name is Chocolate and Secco. And with the stand names Green Day and Oasis. I think they changed Oasis to Wonderwall or something. Isn't that the name of one of the Oasis songs? And they're fighting these dudes, and Chocolate is just fucking nuts. And this one is a 3-part episode. So eventually, they get a message from Jean-Pierre Polnareff telling them to meet in the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum, and he's got the secret to help them overcome the boss and defeat him once and for all. And the secret is the arrow. And we learn that if you're a stand user and you take the arrow, your stand gets enhanced. And we actually see Polnareff use the stand, and he gets Silver Chariot Requiem, which gets a mind of its own and just starts going down, killing everybody, going completely insane. And then they all like swap bodies. And Polnareff starts battling Diablo, gets mortally wounded. You think Polnareff dies, but his soul goes into the fucking turtle, and then the turtle starts talking in Polnareff's voice. But they all switch bodies, and before all that happened, even there was a great scene with Bucciarati seemingly dead, and Doppio there, like, oh, let me help you, sir. And then all of a sudden the phone starts ringing, and Bucciarati's looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? As he's making the do sounds, you know? Oh, man. But the final battle was pretty cool. Eventually, of course, Giorno uses the arrow against Golden Wind Requiem, or Golden Experience Requiem, if you want to use the proper names. And I say, like, I'm confused with the stands because King Crimson, like I said, is very similar to Dio's The World. And he sort of puts him in, like, a time loop paradox where he keeps dying over and over again. And I just didn't really get it, to be honest with you. It was cool to watch, but it's like, what the fuck kind of ending was that? And throughout the battle, a lot of people died. Like, I think this one had the most deaths as far as all the JoJo's parts go. Like, Bucciarati dies, Narancia dies, Abbacchio dies, and then Fugo just said, fuck it, I'm leaving. He left early on and didn't help him. So, Mista survives, Giorno survives, what's her name? Trish survives, and then we see her stand, which is Spicy Lady, or Spice Girls. They call it Spicy Lady, which has, like, elastic powers. So, you know, and then there's another, like, epilogue episode where it's almost like a prequel where Mista sees this rock that tells the future, right? And it turns out that he's like trying to stop the stand user who has this rock, but it can predict the future, and it shows that Abbacchio, Bucciarati, and Narancia are all going to die. And then it ends like, oh, can these men bear the weight of that tragedy? Can they keep going on? So, and then it shows like Giorno having the mafioso outfit, and he's the new head of the whole mob scene. So I guess that was a cool ending. And I really did enjoy Part 5, Golden Wind, but there's just some, like, stupidity, I guess, with copying stands. Like I said, Shining Diamond and Golden Wind are very similar in my opinion, and then King Crimson is very similar to Dio's The World. But still, lots of fun, and I just love the voice actor for Diablo just went ham, and I thought Doppio was a cool character as well. And one other thing I forgot to mention, even in my review from last week, is, you know, in other parts, we've had characters that are from different regions, different countries who have accents. And here it takes place in Italy, so you would think that these characters would all have Italian accents. But I can understand not having an Italian accent for 39 episodes. However, when they defeat enemies, sometimes they'll say, like, Bastardo, arrivederci. So I thought that was a cool touch. But anyway, let's get to some of the screenshots now. Again, I enjoyed it, but it's not necessarily my favorite part. I mean, my favorite parts are 2, 3, and 4, in whatever order. 4 is probably my favorite, but 2, 3, and 4 are the best. 5's good. And then you have to stay tuned next week for part 6, which we'll do part 6 all in one video, just because I don't have any Blu-rays of it. There aren't any Blu-rays of it, I should say. So, let's go through this. Yeah, this is, you know, Bucciarati's soul leaves, and that's what they say later on. Like, he essentially died in this fight against King Crimson, and Giorno made him operate a little longer with the fake organs or whatever. So yeah, here's King Crimson, and you see, like, the boss, Diavolo, he looks more like Doppio in the silhouette. He doesn't have, like, the longer hair. It looks more kempt and more, like, tidied up, you know? So that's Bucciarati going back. Yeah, they have some crazy shit going on where like, the shark appear. They're having soup, and the fucking shark, like, appears in it. It's like, what the hell? Oh, my God. I guess there's so much blood and gore in this. I don't think this is the first one that's rated TV MA. I think all the other JoJo's are rated like PG-13 or TV-14 or something. Oh yeah, this guy's name was the Notorious B.I.G. And Giorno had to cut off his own hand. My goodness. And then, yeah, this is the first time you see Spicy Lady. So that's cool. Here's Doppio versus Risotto Nero, which he had a cool design, and like I said, his stand was Metallica. And Doppio, this innocent looking boy who goes completely insane. He answers the action figure. You can see this is where he gets like the split personality. His eyes change, they change colors. Oh, wait. Yeah, you see? Or it could just be the shading, but, you know, that's to emphasize that he has a split personality. And Risotto Nero's gonna kill him, but of course, Doppio prevails. Oh yeah, he gets a frog and uses that as the phone too. Oh my God. So yeah, and right before Abbacchio dies, he has the flashback to when he was in the service, and he's able to have a sign for the boys to continue their journey. This, like, I was dying during this scene. These kids are all playing on the beach, playing soccer, having an ice cream cone. He grabs their ice cream cone and answers it like a phone. It's like, my goodness, dude. And, like, how horrific is this? Abbacchio dead, and these kids playing on the beach. What the hell? So that was the first casualty. That's Chocolate and Secco. This guy was nuts, too. They're fighting on like an airplane. And this is Polnareff sending the message to them to meet in the Coliseum. This guy, yeah, he had Green Day was his stand. So this is when you first meet Polnareff. Like, this dude. It was great seeing him again. So Polnareff uses the arrow. And, yeah, this is, Bucciarati's helping Doppio, or Doppio's rather helping carry him, because he's injured, and then he has this split personality, and then King Crimson appears right behind Polnareff. So, they mentioned, and here's a sort of inconsistency, they mentioned how Polnareff had fought Diavolo way back when, like when he was trying to uncover the secrets about the arrow. And all I'm thinking is, dude, why didn't you call Jotaro or Joseph or even Josuke to help you fight this dude? Like, why'd you just wait in hiding all this time? I don't know, man. But, like, what the hell is this? He looks like a fucking porn star with the fishnets. I mean, what the hell kind of outfit is this? So that's Silver Chariot Requiem, which makes them change all their bodies. Right? And right before Polnareff dies, well, his Polnareff body dies. His soul lives on in the turtle. He remembers all his friends from the Stardust Crusaders. I thought this was a nice shot. Old Iggy, Kakyoin, Joseph, Muhammad Abdul, and then Jotaro. And he's a turtle now. So, our heroes keep fighting, and Bucciarati's in Diavolo's body, too, which is funny. And King Crimson gets the arrow, but of course, Giorno gets it back and then uses it on Golden Wind. And this is Bucciarati really dying, ascending to the heavens. This is a great shot. Oh, going too fast. And he's charging in, and he sends Diavolo into this time paradox where he keeps dying over and over again. So then he looks up to honor his fallen comrades. And then you get this episode where it's early on, before they even met Giorno, and Mista finds this rock, which like is a fortune-telling rock, showing they're all going to die. So it ends. It's the guy who has the stand of the rock, and he's like, "Oh, if those men knew what they were getting into," because you could see that the three of them were going to die. But it ends with Giorno being the new mob boss, and he has Mista as his right-hand man, and then Polnareff as an advisor, I suppose. Or like kissing his feet. Oh, yeah. So part 5 was good. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite, but still enjoyable nonetheless. And I definitely recommend it. If you enjoyed the other JoJo's parts, definitely watch it. It's good for turning your brain off fun. But I would still say part 4, even part 3 are more of my favorites than part 2 as well. Because I love Joseph Joestar. But yeah, part 5 is still fun. I like the main villain. I like the twist of seeing Polnareff at the end. The battles were cool. The designs of the characters are cool. So that's all I got to say. So stay tuned next week for my review of part 6, Stone Ocean. I'm going to do that all in one video because I don't have any Blu-rays, so I can't really break it down into, part 1, part 2, blah, 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 blah. I think that's 38 episodes. I think on Netflix they released 12 episodes, then took a few months breaks, and then another 12 episodes, another break, and then the remaining 14 episodes. So I'll just cover it all in one video. Hopefully it's around 20 minutes or so, but we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out.